We are living in an amazing generation. And as someone who has been part of this war effort, I have two sons who have been part of this war effort, both who've served in Gaza, and who knows if they're going to have to serve in Lebanon or other places. The youth of the Jewish people today in the land of Israel are unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And instead of me telling you what I think about the unbelievable Jewish youth of the Jewish people in Israel today, I want you to listen to Douglas Murray.
Older guy in Tel Aviv who said to me, he'd fought in the 1967 and the 1973 wars, and he said, I owe the younger generation in Israel an apology. He said, I used to say they don't have it in them. They've become, they like partying. They like being on Instagram and TikTok. And he said, I owe them an apology. They've been magnificent. And the thing is that perhaps it does require life to become serious again. Perhaps the students that we see at these destroyed universities, perhaps they just need a dose of reality someday. I always pray that that day in some ways never comes to them, because it'll be the biggest wake-up call anyone has ever had. But all I would say is that this country, Great Britain, should be so lucky as to have a young generation like that in Israel. They were weighed in the balance since October the 7th, and they've been found to be magnificent.
Yep, Douglas Murray put it right out there. Everyone thought the TikTok generation, they're not serious. Well, in Israel, because life became very serious, because a genocidal enemy attacked us unprovoked and massacred and raped and burned innocent young men and women for going to a music festival, did horrendous things to children and babies and grandmothers innocently in their homes. It woke up most of the Jewish youth in the land of Israel today, and they're out there on the front lines fighting for the whole freedom-loving world. Because I tell you all the time, the genocidal enemy we're up against, this Marxist Islamist revolution, we're the front line. They're trying to take over Britain and France and Germany, and they're bringing their intolerance and violence to the streets of America and Canada and Australia. And where's the Marxist partnership? Well, it's the governments that use their progressive Marxist thinking that tolerates the intolerance of that jihadi Muslim thinking that's taking over the streets everywhere. And while youth in America and Canada and Britain have been brainwashed to support the intolerance of the radical jihadis in their countries and to support the Marxist agenda to tolerate the radical jihadi Muslims in those countries, in Israel, our youth are risking their lives literally on the front line of a war. Girls, boys, the second they're turning 18, they are out there on the front line fighting, no longer confused by this progressive Marxism that is taking over the younger generations of other countries. Now, you want to see what we are up against here in Israel? As opposed to our youth who are fighting the front lines to protect our lives and to protect your lives of the freedom-loving world all over the world? Listen to children and to the mother of the terrorist who executed at point-blank range the wife and two daughters of my personal friend, Leo D. Listen to this.
يعني كان قدوة لكل شباب نابلس، كان قدوة لكل أطفال نابلس. صورة الشهيد البطل عبد الله الحصري. أرعب كيان وغتم ومدمر وأسير وجريح وشهيد. أنا حبيته عشان كان مقاوم ودافع عن وطنه.
The family of Hassan Katanani was congratulated with pride and approval that their son had the honor to kill a Jewish woman and her two young daughters while driving in their car to meet family members during the Passover holiday. They expressed their hope and wish that the terrorists' young children would go in the footsteps of their father and merit to become holy shahid, just like their blessed father. The terrorist mother expressed herself in her own way.
احنا لازم نقتلهم في بلادنا، في عيالنا، في أظافرنا، ناكلهم بسناننا ناكلهم اليهود. هم أعدائنا بالأول والآخر اليهود.
الله يكرمني وأربيهم هالأولاد يطلعوا زي ما بده ربنا إن شاء الله. يكونوا من حفظة القرآن من الصالحين البارين إن شاء الله. مجاهدين في سبيل الله كمان. كنا بالنهاية على هالدرب يعني الجهاد واجب علينا.
That is what we are up against. That is the evil we are up against. These children are given their hatred and desire to murder innocent Jews, even by shooting at us at point-blank range, from their mothers' milk. And that is why the outgoing Israeli ambassador to the United Nations just said this in his goodbye speech at the United Nations.
I have been immensely proud to represent my country here. The most moral country in the world. The most moral country in the world. You listen, Palestinian representative, in this warped place. I hope one day you will also see the bias and perversion of morality here. And I pray that you will see the truth. The terrorist organization that this guy represents here and tyrannical regimes should be condemned, not protected, and that Israel should be praised. We are today the vanguard of civilization. We are the vanguard of civilization. But until then, Am Israel Chai. Thank you, Mr. President.
That was Gilad Erdan, Israel's outgoing ambassador to the United Nations. And I could just say, mic drop. There's nothing else to say. We hear the Jewish people in the land of Israel resettling our ancestral home after not having sovereignty here for thousands of years. We are standing up for humanity. We are standing up for morality. We are standing up, our youth, to protect and defend morality and the whole freedom-loving world. Am Yisrael Chai, folks. Stand up to defend the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel, not for us, but for you, because we are the front line defending against this Marxist Islamist revolution that is out to take away all of our freedoms. These are the messages you hear from me at the Pulse of Israel. If you are not yet a subscriber, go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. And to ensure that we continue to get these messages out there, we're a donor-supported organization. Click on the donate button every once in a while on pulseofisrael.com. In the meantime, shalom everyone from the beautiful ancestral Judean hills of the Jewish people in our ancestral homeland, the land of Israel. Shalom and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.